Well, this is part 4 of my orchid rescue program, and I'm going to kind of fly the camera here just to get some sort of quick shots. So this was where I first adopted some orchids, and you can see the material that I used there. And I should probably push this up, but brought them home from the office. They were dying. It turns out their roots were stuffed into plastic baggies and were going bad, but I did have some material around it. So on that tray, there's a little bit of potting compound. There's some bark, like just regular architectural bark, trail bark. And then over on the upper left there are fired ceramic balls that are actually made in the Netherlands for growing flowers hydroponically. I just had some around from an old project. You could use actually lava rock. You want a porous, lightweight rock, so you don't want to use granite like my ground cover over here or something. That's just crushed granite. Anyway, I brought home the orchid on the left, trimmed it all up and repotted it, got rid of the toxic stuff, and I purposely didn't even clean up this saucer down here because that was the second one I adopted. And where I'm really, I'm sort of like a proud father today is that, oh my gosh, they're growing flower stalks. And you can see where the silvery roots have actually, the one there, it's in center camera right now, almost all of that growth is new. It's over a year old. Once it was repotted, it really did come out. It's really exerted itself. But now it's got a flower stalk, and that's great because it shows that I'm slowly learning something about orchids. But then this one came along, another rescue, and oh my goodness, now it's about it's like 6 or 7 months old. And it's defined the limits of its new wonderful pot and this potting soil or media that it likes. And it's got a little bit of like weed blocker, porous plastic in the bottom just to keep the stuff from pouring out. But this is what really was the game changer here, was then my third one. I've had this for 2 months. And you can see that right there, I hope you can see that there's an orchid. I mean, I let the flower stalks live, and I let them do what they could do, and that's the last orchid on the stalk. So I have trimmed them back. This one was in the worst condition of all. Hey birds. This was in the worst condition of all, and it has really, really enjoyed its 2 months or something here. It's grown at least an inch, but you can see that where this like 15-watt compact fluorescent and this little arch I used to use for other purposes, I ran out of room, and so I went with a bigger arch. It's done the same way. It's a different video on how to make these light support things. I move it back because, but wait, there's more. I ended up building a complete light growth box system for these guys. That'll be the subject of, I guess, video 5. Right, I'm doing just a quick shot here. I only have a couple of minutes left. This is my the in the garage area. You may recognize that. This double light arbor. It's a timer and stuff. This is actually where the orchid family lives, and I'm going to run out of time here pretty quick, especially if the ancient killer there bites me on the ankle. Anyway, pardon me for flying it all around, but that's so cool. My first flowers, my first orchids are growing. That stalk that's laying there with an orchid, I did not grow. That was cut off of this plant, which is my newest addition. So I've got one that's about a year old, that guy. and one that's about 9 months old, that one. And this is cool. I mean, all of this is since I repotted them, because they usually come crammed into a plastic bag. And, they're at the office, and this was the office orchid rescue. Anyway, this is one of my light chambers. You can see it's, I make these, and they're really great for starting any kind of plants, growing stuff, propagating. You can put in like a 4-foot or 4-foot plant. They use compact fluorescent lights. And, well, my first orchid flower spears, that is just so cool. And it happened really fast, just a couple of weeks they did that. Hopefully this guy, this is a white one, and then that stalk there is purely came off of that one, and I've only had that for about 2 months, but everything else here grew. These are both purple, and if anybody can shout out to me in the comments and tell me what these actually are. I never knew what orchids were, and kind of like them. They're a lot more sturdy than I thought.